and we had a high-intensity practice. But it's part of the process, man. It's iron on iron, Steelers versus Steelers. But we do it with the mindset that we're working towards something. There's the only way to do it. There's no shortcuts, man. I just really tip my cap to the guys for the intensity that they brought to the work tonight.
You are looking live at St. Vincent College in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, and Steelers Training Camp 2024. It is Saturday, August the 3rd, day 11 on campus, day 9 on the field. And I got to say it, I don't think the heavy stuff's going to come down for quite some time yet. I'd keep practicing. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Training Camp Live, presented by FedEx. I'm Mike Prisuta, joined as always by Max Starks. And Max, we're having a little bit of an interesting afternoon. There has been lightning in the area. Now that has apparently gone away. The people here at St. Vincent were told to vacate campus. Now they've been told to come back. The Steelers have been stalwart, doing their thing on the field throughout. I guess we're going to get a practice in today after all.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin loves these opportunities. Anytime you could get in wet weather, adverse situations, especially when ball security is the key for today, no better way to do ball security than have a little precipitation down on the field. And the Steelers never stopped. They just took their helmets off when it was a lightning warning. Fans also persisted as they moved very slowly. They're like, they're still playing, so why am I going to leave? And so we still have a full packed house even though it's raining outside.
Well, we got a lot to talk about today relative to what took place last night at Memorial Stadium in Latrobe, a festive and feisty Friday Night Lights. But before we start unpacking all of that, let's throw it down to the playing surface here at St. Vincent College and our colleague Missi Matthews, armed with her umbrella. Missi, what's going on down there?
It's raining, but as you guys said, Mike Tomlin loves this. The Steelers are not in pads today. So the rain is giving them some adversity. I don't know, Max, if you thought after Friday Night Lights it was tough, it was physical, we saw backs on backers, if they would be in pads today, but they decided to just go with the helmets. I kind of need the umbrella. I kind of don't. I'm not going to use it because Prisuta will say that I'm being a big baby and, worried about my hair or something. Some news and notes from down here. Isaac Seumalo's in the bucket hat today. That says Vet Stay to me. But the one that I think I noticed right away was Patrick Queen. He's in street clothes today. Doesn't look like he's really doing anything in terms of even walking through with the team. As you guys said, it's raining, but I'm not going to lie. It was so hot earlier. The sun was beaming down on this field. The rain actually feels nice. And as you guys said, they told fans to go back to their cars, clear the premises. And then when fans didn't leave and they said, oh, hey, fans, you can come back, there was a, audible laugh from all the fans who were like, we're not going anywhere. The players are out there on the field. So will be interesting to see, how they manage this practice, if we're going to get a full one in or if things will have to be, shortened due to the fact there is weather in the area. But the sun's starting to come back out. Steelers fans are happy. It's just a little bit of rain, and it's not too bad.
Missi, I wanted to get your thoughts on last night because I know Max and I spent some time talking about Friday Night Lights after Friday Night Lights. But what stood out to you? Let's start there.
Backs on backers. Just the energy that you felt with Mike Tomlin leading his team off of the school buses. He brought it. He was getting the fans going. Not that you needed to. Over 12,000 people. I mean, that's just insane for a practice at a high school football field. But I think backs on backers strip, we were kind of standing near each other for part of it. It just kind of took me back to the James Harrison days and when you just knew that Debo was out to kill somebody and he wasn't going to hold back. It was physical, and I love the trash talking between Jalen Warren, Najee Harris, Patrick Queen, and Landon Roberts. And I think it really brought the enthusiasm to that drill. Not that you always need that because it's usually pretty juiced, but this was definitely one of those ones that you're probably going to go back one day and be like, remember that Friday Night Lights practice? So that's kind of what I took away from it.
Yeah, Missi, it was physical. It definitely reminded me of back in the day, so to speak. And it reminded me, kind of the physicality reminded me of Mike Tomlin's first training camp up here in Latrobe as the new head coach. He worked us hard, and we had a very spirited and very physical backs on backers and Friday Night Lights session. I want to ask you also, as you look at, did you see anything, did anybody pop, like young guys, in the drills or in the team drives last night? I know I saw a couple of rookies really shine. I wanted to get your thoughts about what you saw from the young guys trying to put their hand in the pile.
Well, I know this is probably an easy one, and we keep talking about him, and we know Prisuta always talks about him, but Peyton Wilson, he's just one of those guys that is here to play football, puts his hand in the dirt, and just goes, and you're seeing that motor, especially as they got to finally put the pads on, the acclimation period. You're like, okay, I'm seeing it, but until the pads go on, and it's more real football. But I think he just continues to take the steps forward that you want to see from a rookie, and somebody who can contribute to this defense. When you added a Patrick Queen during free agency, you have a Landon Roberts who was like the glue of that group all last year. So I think it'll be interesting to see how much more we see from him. But also the offense. I love what Arthur Smith has been doing with this group. We saw 3 tight ends on one side last night when they were doing some team stuff. I just think the way that he's utilizing people, utilizing a fullback, even the different running backs and how he's working with them, I think this offense is starting to come to life. And I think even when he spoke to the media the other day, he felt like they were a little bit ahead of where he thought they would be at this portion. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm pumped for next Friday, first preseason game. It's at home, and we're going to see some live action, not Steelers versus Steelers.
Yeah, I think that's a great point about Peyton Wilson. And the last drill of the night was a red zone drill. Peyton Wilson was in with the number ones. Patrick Queen was not. They had worked Peyton Wilson in with the first team periodically throughout the night. I don't know if Patrick Queen was maybe nursing something or tweaked something, or if they just wanted to take another look at Peyton Wilson, because he's certainly a guy worth looking at here in this training camp. Missy, really appreciate you being on hand and joining us today. And this is, I got to point out, a great opportunity for you, because unlike your other sideline reporting cohort, Max up here, he's high and dry. He's got the shade of the tent. You're getting some great bad weather reps in, so you will be ready for the regular season.
You got to start somewhere, right?
Exactly. She's the toughest one out of our duo, by the way.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah. I mean, you do, but you keep the heat warmers on deck and the fruit snacks
true.
available. So I mean, you're
And
already
the
MVP.
Uncrustables.
Yeah, you're an MVP in my heart.
Max and I are never hangry. I'll tell you that.
No, we never are.
Missy will be back up here after practice for the wrap-up show, assuming there is one, weather permitting, I guess we should say. But I wanted to get back to that intensity, combustibility, trash talk element of Friday Night Lights in general and backs on backers in particular, because I'm in agreement with you guys. I think that drill over the years, it's physical. It's a hard drill. The contact has been real, but the emotional element of it's gotten a lot quieter over the years. And last night reminded me of when James Farrier was here, when Larry Foote was here, when Jerome Bettis was here.
Yeah, Deuce Staley, right? I
and
mean,
the way
Ron
that
Haynes.
it seemed like every rep last night, Max, everybody who wasn't involved kind of congregated around the two combatants, and there was a lot of exchange going on, a lot of back and forth. And I'm telling you, the coach, I saw tight ends coach Alfredo Roberts. I glanced at him one time. He had a smile from ear to ear. I mean, everybody's blood was up. It was as competitive as it can get, I think, without
physically injuring
degenerating into a full-scale riot.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was like you said. I mean, it felt like you were watching a UFC main event. That's how tight. And the sidelines kept constricted. Like everybody, because like you said, it was full. It was about 13,000 people there. Everybody kept like kind of constricting and get closer and closer. And then Labs had to do a nice little sidestep to get out of the way of the action. That's how close people were getting. But you're right. Peyton Wilson and Jalen Warren had a really great battle in there. Aaron Shampkin was another one. He was a surprise. He had one hit on Peyton Wilson. He got knocked to his knees, never disengaged, came back to balance and finished the drill. Like, that's how the intensity was at the end of those reps, and everyone mattered, whether it was Darnell Washington blocking out whoever came in front of him, Matt Sokol, Pat Fryermuth, like all the tight ends got involved in the process. And then, like you said, the penultimate moment was, of course, Najee Harris, Patrick Queen, the dump-off session. It looked like they were in a WWE tag team title match coming in there. So there was a lot of action. And, of course, Jalen Warren, the only one without a Guardian cap on, taking on everybody that called him out. So it was a really fun, spirited thing. And that was right at the beginning of the practice. You felt that energy just permeate throughout all the rest of the drills. You felt a certain intensity and guys hitting extra hard. guys going to the echo of the whistle, a lot of pushing and shoving between the linemen. It was all the things you wanted to kind of manufacture before you go play a game next Friday night.
Yeah, Najee Harris, I thought, really got it started. He was the third rep. You had Darnell Washington blocking out the sun again against Alex Highsmith.
Yeah, Alex had zero success against him.
Yeah, but Najee Harris planted Queen. And
Yeah.
then Queen got up demanding a rematch, and Harris won again, and then stood in his face and, put the two fists up with the
Muhammad
arms raised.
Ali-esque.
And, I mean, it was impressive. And then a couple reps after that, Jalen Warren popped to Landon Robertson. Roberts got up, steam coming out of his ears. He wanted to go again. And Jalen Warren wins the second rep and then let him know about it. And when Najee Harris wasn't in a rep, he was screaming about the rep, about what the offensive players were doing, yelling at the defense. It was
number one cheerleader.
Some combustible stuff.
It was. It was stuff that gets your blood boiling, especially when you think about those two position groups, right? Two groups that are predicated on physicality and toughness and going to the fight, not away from the fight.
One of the things that I took from that, Max, we've heard from a lot of the people on offense since Arthur Smith's arrival about how he wants them to be not just a physical offense, but the most physical offense in the league. Players have talked about how that goes up on a PowerPoint presentation in the meetings.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what better way to walk that walk after you've talked that talk than to have your two best running backs stick two really good and really physical linebackers?
No, I mean, you think about that, but also the 7 shots. Right, offense won that one very convincingly. I mean, and I would say they won at 6-1. But of course, the 7th rep there was a PI, so technically they should have clean swept that entire
Mike
7
Tomlin
shots.
called that a touchdown.
Okay, he did call it a touchdown.
He came over before backers started, and he was yelling at the offensive players, 7-0, 7-0, really fired up about it. So we'll give him the sweep.
Yeah, okay, the sweep. I mean, and that really set the true momentum, and then you carry that over to backs on backers. And the energy was just frenetic. Like, for my first night being able to go down on the field and be around practice, you felt that energy. It was palpable, and you could feel just a team coming closer together. I mean, it's a galvanizing process, right? When the heat gets up, things start to bond, right? If you're doing any type of metal work. So it was an awesome sight last night.
Yeah, good stuff, and I'm sure we'll be talking about that some more tomorrow. Missi Matthews and Craig Wolfley might be talking some more about it this afternoon when we do training camp wrap-up. But that is going to do it for us, this abbreviated, weather-altered version of Training Camp Live, brought to you by FedEx. For Max Starks, I'm Mike Prisuta. Thanks for finding us.